Hello everyone, Clifford Bennett, Chief Economist, ACY Securities, and the Reserve Bank of Australia today left rates unchanged at 4.1%. And it is a case of policy all over the shop. There's a pause, then there's a hike, then there's a pause, then there's a hike. And it's very difficult to get a handle on what's actually going on inside that board review process, which of course is being truncated and replaced by a new system as soon as possible, with the outgoing and sacked Governor Lowe with one more RBA meeting to come. Who knows what he will do then? It doesn't seem to add up with what the RBA says. I'm a big advocate of interest rates should be on hold here and kept on hold here almost indefinitely, as the kind of inflation we have at the moment is in fact out of the control of the interest rate sledgehammer, and raising rates further only harms the economy and brings all sorts of stresses to bear, in addition to those that already exist from extreme inflation. Now, we mustn't forget that inflation slows economies and undermines the fundamental underpinnings, if you like, of any economy. And at still 6%, I mean, the top peak in inflation was just under 8%. We haven't pulled back very much at all. Inflation at 6%, if the RBA was true to its word about it's going to fight inflation, it's going to remove any, steadfast or entrenchment of inflation expectations, then with headline inflation at 6% and with services and wages inflation also reasserting themselves, you would expect the RBA to raise interest rates in this environment based on that kind of thinking. So perhaps it's just the shock of losing his job that has led him to again try to appease public opinion and leave being the nice guy by leaving rates on hold. With the incoming new governor of the RBA, where exactly the same mistake has been made by the current treasurer as per the previous treasurer, which is to promote someone from within the bank to the role of governor. I mean, that's why we got in this mess in the first place. And now we've done it again. The long-term outlook for monetary policy in Australia remains somewhat problematic and below par relative to the standards of the rest of the world. With that said, though, it is a welcome relief that rates stayed on hold at this meeting. Perhaps they'll stay on hold at the next meeting as Governor Lowe again tries to win the popularity stakes in the same way that he messed up coming out of COVID, keeping interest rates near zero for at least 12 to 18 months, far too long. And we said at the time that that blunder would lead to this aggressive interest rate cycle, which we have seen. I mean, there's many people out there in various media and the major banks saying no one saw this coming. Well, ACY Securities did, and we telegraphed it some 1 to 2 years in advance, actually, saying the RBA should have been raising interest rates in very small increments at the very end, the immediate end of the lockdowns, so that there wouldn't be this panic to chase inflation later on. The Reserve Bank has made many errors, such as saying that the wave, and I think this is almost a direct quote, the wave of inflation, the global wave of inflation will not reach our shores, I believe, were the words that Governor Lowe uttered, or to that effect, and completely wrong, of course. So a lot of Western central banks have been caught wrong-footed. It is at least a relief to see the RBA going on hold for the moment, although perhaps this is more of what happened during the COVID period as well, where our Governor Lowe simply did whatever the Federal Reserve Chairman did. So just a rerun of Fed speak seems to be what we will be getting in Australia again too. For markets, this means a little bit of weakness for the Australian dollar. It means a little bit more relief for the equity market. But again, for stocks, just be careful. By tomorrow, the price action will probably be determined by what happens on Wall Street this evening. Thanks very much. Once again, the RBA has left interest rates on hold at 4.1%.